started working and became interested in all these products that involve design. And so from there, I came home and I kind of renovated my own house, and friends and family started asking me to help them. And so I did. And then after a couple of times, I was like, this is a little too much work to do for nothing, and so that's how kind of Fluid Design started. And then when working with Fluid, I got a couple of clients who were divorced dads. And so that is when we decided, after working with them, really to create a brand for these guys, for single guys and divorced dads. And that's how Stripe Street was born. When people move, they need more help than just, finding the products that go inside. They need the logistics part of it, right? And that is what my whole background is with events and everything. So I'm like, logistics is just as important. And as far as like your stress level and, people want to be able to just walk in and have their stuff all set up, but there's so much behind the scenes that needs to happen. So that's how it came. I'm like, let's broaden that and help with logistics and relocating. We don't find the spaces. We can definitely know realtors that we can hand them off to for that, but it's getting all your stuff from one place to another. They definitely need help. Like the people who reach out to us, they're like, have mattresses sitting on the floor, right? And they're like, I need to create a home, right? I need for my kids to feel comfortable when they're here. And I mean, there have been a number of people, they're like, it's just a mess. Like their office, their papers are all over. A printer is on the floor and there's a treadmill, and like, it's just, they need someone to come in, pull it together. They know what they like as far as like, product. They know if they like something or if they don't, but they definitely need someone to show them things. They don't know where to go. They don't know how to pull it together, and they don't know what things should cost, what's over, what's too much, what's too little, what's a good investment, what's not. And so that's where we help them with all of that. I don't even think they really know what they like until you put stuff in front of them, right? And so I kind of get an idea through how they're dressed, what their personality is. Spending some time with them, I get the feel of what I want to present to them. And then we put it together. And then when we present it to them, then it's like, yes, no. And I always provide choices. I feel like people like to make choices. And then the other thing that is so important is really, the thing about Stripe Street is we focus on using design to like strengthen relationships, right? So we are definitely looking at, what do you do with your kids at home? What should you be doing? How could you interact more? Like I'm working with one gentleman who is like, my boys are on their video games all the time. And I'm like, okay, well, we need to kind of, make certain structure here, and maybe put a game table in your living room where no phones or video games are allowed. And let's get a backgammon set. There's so many, all those games. There's like Lucite Connect 4. Let's just put these in the room, like use them as accessories so that you can like bond and attach with your kids. And this is a no phone zone. I just really hire people who have a lot of energy, are a lot of fun to be around. And I just think if you have, when you're working, you should enjoy yourself. And so I look for great personalities who can be very pleasant and who interact with clients well, who handle logistics nicely, because that is just like half of it, and who have great style and design. I don't believe in hierarchies. Like I do believe we're all a team, and everybody, if anything needs to be done, anyone can do it and help each other. When you communicate things come out of the woodwork, right? Like things you might not have thought of that are going to happen or whatever. So preventative communication happens when you are creating timelines and you're in communication with your vendors, and there's constant follow-up. So it's kind of like while you're communicating with them to see how something's going, or if something's going to be late, or or whatever, all of that follow-up and everything, that is preventative communication, because you are finding things out that will help you later on. So do as much as you can, as much follow-up and planning beforehand, and communicating with clients and vendor and whoever you need to, because then it's kind of the event, right? Like the install is the event. And so all of that will help your event run smoothly, or more smoothly. There's always things that are going to happen, right? We all know that, but this is just a way to alleviate all of those things and make it as smooth as possible. When my son was in first grade, that's when I decided I need to do something different, because I was being pulled from the West Coast and the East Coast when I was at Hearst, and I was working like crazy hours, and I'm like, this is not working for me. I did not feel a balance, and I felt like I needed to spend more time with my kids. So that's when I started doing those projects for family and friends. And then that kind of led into fluid design. And what was so good about that was I really was able to pick my projects and pick when I wanted to be busy and when not, so when they would go to summer camp, great, bring it on, like stuff like that. And then, but I always made time for family, because that was my first priority and was them. And so now that they are older and both pretty much away at school, now I'm able to like really start growing. And that's when I started hiring, a couple more people and putting this all into a faster speed. When the divorced dad or, when they're setting up their home, we give them tools to bring their kids in to making some of those decisions, so they feel like they have had some say. For example, this little girl, she was 6, and her dad, for her walls, we were like, okay, show her these paperless wallpaper. Like there were choices of like hearts and palm trees and rainbow. So like she got to pick what she wanted on her wall. And so she picked like these black hearts and rainbows and palm trees. She wanted them all, right? Like she's like, oh, I don't want to pick, like, can we just do like, I like them all. Although she liked the black hearts. And we didn't first give her the black hearts, but that was like her favorite thing. So we did this great, on her bed wall, we had them all put up there. It looked like wallpaper, but she kind of custom did it. And then her mom found out about it because she loved being at Dad's house. She loved her room at Dad's house so much that the mom then copied and put it in her room there. And so, by bringing and giving your kids choices of things like that, it becomes their home too. So there are things like that we don't talk to the kids. I make a point for the dads to talk to the kids about it, and we give the dads, the choices so that it's coming from them. They're saying to their kids, like, I care what you think. I want you to feel like it's not going to be the home we're used to living at together, but I want you to feel like this is just as much your home as it is mine. That's what I love about this.